Hey there, Thursday afternoon, day we talk about marriage, so it's good to see you. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach and creator of the Hero Husband Project and owner of Foundations Coaching. So here I'm going to talk about a word that I actually hate. I don't think it should ever be used. I'm sorry, I just used it. I don't think it's a word that is very helpful. And for people who know me, that word is the word should. Because should is just saying that you are doing something that somebody else wants you to do, but may not be a good fit. And there are a huge number of shoulds when it comes to marriage. I don't know if you're aware of something called sleep divorce, but this is where couples who are married sleep in separate beds, usually in separate rooms. And there's a whole lot of should. Should this be happening? Should we be sleeping together? Should. Stop shoulding on yourself. There are a lot of other things around should that people say about marriage. In fact, people say you should be married. I don't know why. Now, I'm a big proponent of marriage. I'm a big proponent of happy marriage. I'm not a proponent of miserable marriage. But that's what a lot of people end up with when they buy into these shoulds. Marriage should look like this. If you are a husband, you should be doing this. If you are a wife, you should be doing that. Makes me scream, want to throw that word out. What we need to do, what you need to do, is to say, does this fit for me? Does this fit for my partner? If sleeping in the same bed doesn't work for you, don't do it. I don't care what the great they, whoever they are, the people who determine what we should be doing, what you should be doing. I don't know who these people are, and if I ever meet them, I'm not a violent person, but I may just smack them. Who are they? Who put them in charge of your life? Now, there are some things that are very helpful, and I do think that it's good for people to follow. Like when you get on the road, please be driving in the correct direction. I don't want somebody driving at me. Is that a should? I don't know. It's certainly a norm, and it certainly creates less accidents. But when we get into our own personal lives, there are so many people who want to tell us what to do. And I'm a proponent of, if it works for you, do it. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Now, I think it's really important when we're talking about marriage, about what we've promised to do and what would benefit our marriages. And if you don't want to do it, that's okay, but take a look at why. Is it because somebody says you should and it doesn't fit? Or is it because it's something that your partner needs and you're uncomfortable with? Those aren't the same thing. I am a proponent of intentional marriage, intentional actions. Should is turning it over to somebody else, as opposed to what you and your partner have decided to do. And sometimes it's not going to be the same. I've worked with a lot of clients who there's an aspect of their marriage that I look at and go, I couldn't do that in my marriage, but it's working for them, so I leave it alone. The only time I get involved is when something is not working for my clients. And in that particular case, we take a look at it, we figure out where it comes from, we figure out other opportunities, but there's never a should. It's try this, let's see if it works. Because the only people who get to decide what your marriage looks like are you and your partner. And if it works for you, fine. Don't worry about whether somebody else thinks it's okay, whether somebody else would do it that way. It's not necessary. So do me a favor, and when you can, get rid of the word should. That's all for today, and I'm glad I'm back. Hope everybody had a good holiday, and hopefully this was helpful. And if you want to comment, please always just leave a message below. And until next week, stay loving.